Hello. How are ya? Good morning, or good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Listen, what a weekend. What a weekend. It's so great to see you. And excuse me. I'm actually not even this was such a last minute thing that I decided to do that I am actually just in my normal spot. I didn't get to swivel my computer. That's how last minute it was. But it's great to see everybody, and I feel like I just needed to tell you what's going on. What is going on? What a bonkers weekend. So here's the thing. Well, it's great to see you. And what is happening? Happy luckiest day of April. So here's the thing. Today you saw in the community post, we got an exalted sun, sex like Jupiter. This is amazing. It like take advantage, but that's the thing. There's so much happening this weekend. There's a lot happening this weekend. You have on top of that Venus sextile Uranus. You have Mars trining Saturn. You have Mars sextile Uranus. You have Saturn sextile Uranus. You have Venus trining Mars. You have Venus conjuncting Mercury. You've got so much happening this weekend. This is all coming off the heels of that major. It seems like so long ago, but it was a week ago when we had the new moon solar eclipse with the 6 planet conjunction over that 0 degree Aries point. So, and I've talked about the Schumann resonance, right? I've talked about like Earth's frequency, that there's so much happening. There's so much happening, and it can be a lot of energy. It can be a whole lot of energy. A lot of y'all still feeling that lunar eclipse that we had mid-March, the one in Virgo, and that's all about letting things go. So I just wanted to come on here and tell you that you're fine. You're okay. You're good. You're good. Everyone's good, okay? Because I know that some of this energy can be overwhelming. And I know that everyone's been feeling it. Because on top of that, we have Mercury retrograde still. We have Venus retrograde still. We just had Venus conjuncting the North Node, Mercury conjuncting the North Node. This is all compressed in a week. Over the weekend for sure, this weekend, but in a week, right? A week and a half-ish. Mercury is retrograde, so I might have a day off or two. And I think I accidentally did this for all members, which is fine. Everyone's welcome, and it's more for like everyone to watch anyway, because I want people to know you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay. You're good. Okay, it's over. So what do you do when things are a little bit overwhelming, right? I tell you all the time, go out in nature, do some sound therapy, do some breath work. Just take some time out for yourself. Just take a little breather, okay? Because the energies are really, really, really strong. I literally told you last summer, I said, we are going to have a paradigm shift when we get to spring 2025, okay? In January, I said, I'm going to prepare you now because everything is going to change when we get to April, all right? Last week, in your current forecast, I said, and in your April forecast, I said, this is going to be the most bonkers weekend of 2025. I said that. So everybody heard me, right? Everyone heard me. Everyone heard me say all of that. Okay. You watch my live streams. I talk a lot more about it. I give you channeled messages. I give you a lot. Right. And so, you know that I also said that you would start your awakening. I said this is a time where you're going to start seeing things you've never seen in your lifetime. That's meant to help you expand your consciousness, to prepare you for everything changing this year. Did I not say that? I said that I've repeated it because something's bear repeating. I've repeated it in your monthly forecast. I said it in your 2025 annual forecast. I said it last year. I said, this is the great awakening. This is the great reset. This is the golden age. Everything changes this year. And so in your last forecast, and I think I said it again, because again, some things bear repeating. I said, everything that's happening after March, all those planets like nudging over that 0 degree point. I said it. I said, well, this is a year where all planets are changing signs. This is a year where all 4 outer planets are changing signs in such a compressed period of time. I said it. I helped you prepare. And so I want you to know that you're fine. You're good. Everyone's good. You have to believe it. Okay. You have to just believe it. You got to ride this wave. I told you there's a big wave that's happening, and it's this opportunity for you to start making big changes in your life to be the best version of yourself. Okay. Today is the luckiest day. Who had some? I had some amazing things happen. I had amazing things happen this weekend. I'll tell you in the next live stream, because I got to go. I got to like clean, eat dinner. I got to do all that. But I was like, I see your comments. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Some people are like, I feel like it's just, I mean, listen, it is literally in my profile that I'm an empath. I pick up on energy. That's why I talk about energy all the time. I see, like, I feel you're like, if you got private reading with me, I picked up on I told you things that nobody would know. That's what I do. And so truly, this is the luckiest aspect that I told you, you're not gonna see Jupiter again. This is but this is gonna play out. Did you see my Instagram post on what happened to the actual planet Jupiter last night? That's like, what are the chances? Okay, so you're gonna feel this play out for a week. You got time. There's this big convergence happening this weekend right now. All right, huge convergence, huge window. And I told you that Jupiter is going to be quiet this month. I mean, outside the lunations, right? Outside the lunations, and that's the other thing. That's why you need to read your sun and rising, because if you're typing, well, nothing happened for me. I'm like, well, are you watching your rising? I tell you it's in your description box. You got to read your sun, moon, and rising. If you're feeling a lot of emotions right now, read your moon sign. This is why I do the extra videos for tier 3 members. I talk about the lunations. Y'all, if you were tier 3 members, you would know that the moon conjuncted Mars. I think I even told you in your readings. And Cancer, that's powerful. That happened this weekend too. So there's a lot of energy right now. Okay. But I really want you to know that if you're stuck in this energy, it's just the wave just crashes over you. You got to move with the wave. And like I said, with Jupiter being the greater benefic, Jupiter that brings you blessings, right? It plays out differently for everybody. Plant those seeds. Are you planting those seeds? Are you taking action? That's what it is, what life is all about. That's why, literally, I always say, and this is why I say in everyone's readings, and I make a point to say it at least 2-3 times, take inspired actions. And I have to sometimes break it down even further and say, actions, literally, karma translates to action. Okay? You go all the way to Sanskrit, karma literally translates to action. That's why we say actions have consequences. Yeah, that's karma. But inaction have consequences too. You've got to take that action. Everything is energy. Everything. That's why I tell you in every reading for every sign, vibrate at this high frequency. Okay? Vibrate. What does that even mean? Gratitude. Okay? Gratitude. Unconditional love, inner peace, all of that. You got to merge the two. You're on a karmic journey. You only have one life to live. You got to use these moments. I said, every reading, I say, use these aspects. Don't let them use you, right? Jupiter,
like expands. I mean, come on, that's a big thing. So I hope that everyone knows, and I'm going to go through your questions. I want you to leave questions, and I want you to tell me what's happening, and I want to be here for you, and I want to, and that's why I'm doing this. Okay. And again, I've talked about the Schumann resonance. Okay, so I'm going to just unpack a few things here for you. So on top of everything I just said, with all the planetary aspects and even like, you know, the geophysical, like everything that's happening right now, especially the planetary aspects, right? And all that. Remember, Neptune just moved into Aries last weekend. That is big. That's huge. Remember, and I just feel like some people just still haven't drilled this in. And so for your weekly readings this week, because you're about to experience some Neptune aspects that nobody on this planet has experienced, because it hasn't happened in 164 years. And so that's why I do this, to help you prepare and remember the archetype for Neptune in Aries, which is very different from Neptune in Pisces. Okay. Neptune in Aries is that spiritual warrior. It's that visionary leader. You're experiencing this great awakening to your authentic self. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Use this energy. Remember, I said it's pioneering spirit. Use this for the greater good. Everything is energy. We're a collective, right? We're all connected. We're all connected, right? The more that you don't use this power, the more the collective, all of humanity, falls into these low energy frequencies, because these energies affect other people, impact other people. Therefore, those delusional leaders, they're going to ascend. Because they got they're using it. Do you see how this works? All right. So the Neptune aspects that we have next week, I'm not going to spoil it here, they are really strong. And I want you to use it. And I want you to feel empowered. And on top of that, with Neptune having just moved into Aries, you got the North Node, your purpose, your mission statement, your destiny, highly activated all month. I told you this in your April forecast. I said that Saturn is right on the North Node all month, and they're gonna you're gonna have it comes in. I said Saturn's coming in hard. Saturn is life lessons. Saturn is tests. Saturn is karma. What is life lessons? It's karma. Okay, you got to pass the test. You get rewarded. So how do you ace the test? Self-belief, confidence, the ability to forgive, right? Let things go. Water under the bridge, gratitude, self-love, all of that. Okay. Do you remember the Truman Show? Y'all saw that. Y'all saw that movie. Everybody saw that movie. He like weathered a literal storm to ascend the ladder, right? To get out of that studio. He was tested the entire movie. The entire movie. He stayed true to his authentic self. He never gave up. He passed the test. He was rewarded. He was rewarded. He completed a cycle in his karmic journey. All right. Mind over matter. Mission accomplished. Okay. You are on a karmic journey. Everything is cyclical. Everyone goes through cycles. And again, I know that it can be really overwhelming right now, but remember, like Mercury's going direct, Venus is going direct, Mars is going direct. There's a lot of stuff happening, but you gotta be on your journey. You gotta surrender things, right? If you want to move into this new cycle. And it's the same thing with that lunar eclipse, and even with the activation that we have coming up with the moon right on top of the Virgo moon, right on top of the South Node, with Mars coming in, like, right? Are you still being hard on yourself? Are you still? It's that perfectionist, self-critical, hypercritical, defeatist energy. Have you let that go? That you still got to let that go. You got to make room for all this amazing new karma that you're right? Don't you want that? You want that? There's a finish line with like Tootsie Rolls. You want that, right? Just remember, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Who said that? Put it in the comments. Who said that? Right? So, gratitude is so important. Gratitude is so important right now. And I know that everyone's been going through, we had Mars in Cancer for a really long time. Yeah. Remember that heightens emotions. It gets people frustrated because there are things out of your control. When Mars is in Cancer, when Mars is retrograde, do I mean like that's so yeah, that happens. But you have to continue on your journey. And you have to have that gratitude for the things that you do have. Yeah. Yeah, y'all seen what's been going on with Ruby? There's an example right there. That's been a whole year since last March. On top of like my job, on top of doing this, if anyone's ever taken care of like an injured dog or you know what I mean? Like, or like, do you know what I mean? Like that it's a full-time job. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I just hit the $25,000 mark. That's a lot of money just on, her health, on her shock therapy, muscle therapy, vet visits, emergency vet visits, on her, CAT scans, MRIs, all the medications she's on, all of that. It's hard. Have I given up? No. What do I do every day? I thank the universe for my blessings. Every day. Every day. That is vibrating a high frequency. Staying optimistic. I don't want to give her the energy of like, right? You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong for yourself. You gotta be strong for others. And I've told you that, and I've said this before, when you're grateful, there is a literal physiological component that affects your heart. Okay. It brings this strong feeling of awareness. You always want to be self-aware, right? And it's energy moving from your brain to your heart, and then you trust your intuition, everything falls into place. Y'all are becoming more psychic anyway with Neptune moving into Aries. Y'all are becoming more psychic and trusting your intuition. So remember, at the end of April, we still have and this is another thing. It's gonna get a little bit harder. What's happening now the past week is a piece of cake compared to the end of April. Okay. And so if you pass these tests with flying colors, the end of April is going to be water off your back, right? If you're a duck. Okay. It's going to be nothing, right? Because we have those, Saturn and Venus conjuncting the North Node. We have the, T square with a new moon. We have Mars opposite Pluto. Again, we've got Sun square Pluto. We got so the end of April, yeah. But next week, oh my goodness, it's like night and day. The way that like no retrogrades next week. We got Mars finally leaving Cancer, right? We've got these two amazing Neptune aspects that nobody on this planet has experienced. So next week, whoa, rocket ship. All right. And so remember, because there's a lot of energy and it can feel overwhelming. You want to release. You don't want to hold things in, right? Go do breath work, go do some yoga, go do, have your little meditation, whatever you need. Go out in nature, take a beat. That's why I talk about energy. Take a beat. All right. Energy attracts energy. We know that. We all know that by now, right? We know how the law of attraction works. Okay. If you walk down the street, you see the clown from It on your left. I mean, you see Will Ferrell, I don't know, on your right. Or just an angel, whatever. You're attracted to that energy because that's high frequency. You're not going to go that It clown, right? That's how it works. Apply it to your life in any way, in every way. Okay. Every way. All right. Emotions are energy. That's why you got to watch your moon sign. This guy, you gotta watch the lunations. The moon, remember, up until like 1750, well, in the US and UK, I think it was like 1500. Every civilization used a lunar calendar. I've talked about this. Okay. That's how important the moon is. Okay. New moons, full moons, quarter moons, all of that. Every day, the aspects. That's why a lot of people were feeling emotional this past weekend, even yesterday, with the moon conjuncting Mars in Cancer, where it's really emotional because the moon rules Cancer. And and it can be like very, like you saw what happened over the weekend, right? Moon in Cancer conjuncting Mars. Hello, that's big because it's like home, it's homeland, protecting the homeland, being very sensitive about your home, what's gonna happen with my home, like things like that. Loved ones. You gotta watch y'all gotta become tier 3 members. I do these extra videos for y'all for anyway. I think I did talk about your weekly forecast because it was such a thing, but if I didn't, it's because Mercury's retrograde. But just remember, you need to release, have that outlet, go swimming, go play baseball, go out with your friends, put on bunny costumes and do silly things. Okay. But just don't hold things in. Don't hold things in. Okay. I've told you. So I'm going to bring this back up in your readings. I got to find room for it because they're already going too long. Emotions. We all have emotions. We have a range of emotions for a reason. So we need to feel every emotion, but we just can't get stuck in those low frequency energies. We can't get stuck there. Okay. And when I say energy, when I say everything is made of energy, that's not just like spirituality, hermetic principles. I've told you this, it is literal science, it's quantum physics, it's Albert Einstein saying match the frequency of the reality you want. You can't help but get that reality. And that's what I'm saying. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe these things are going to happen. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when we talk about emotions, right? When you trace the word back to its Latin root, emotere, energy in motion. Okay? Emotions are actually neutral. It's the energy that you put toward those emotions. Kickstart them. Okay? So if you're going to put them in low energy frequency, yeah, it's harder to get the things that you want. It's harder. Things get harder for you to come out of it. And so you always want. That's why I say you always want to vibrate at the high frequency. And again, I know that it's just been a wild time. It's been a very wild time. But it's also like the universe is on our side. And one thing that some people just, we all do this, right? Based, and this is all the subconscious. Now I'm gonna get really young on y'all, Jung. But everything is based on, like, how I say everything's cyclical and everything's patterns, and a lot of things based on the past, that live in us, that are in our subconscious. That's why it's good to do that shadow work. Okay. Because sometimes when you hear something in the news, when you see something in the news, when things are like that, you've already create this future, like this doomed future. It doesn't exist. The future does it. Why would you do that? Right? You don't know how things are going to play out. Mercury is retrograde. And so when Mercury goes direct, a lot of the things, there's going to be clarification. We all go through Mercury retrograde. We know how this works. Clarification. There's going to be a lot of things that were said, done, whatever. There's going to be movement. But yeah, again, there could be a lot of, Mercury's been retrograde since what? March 14th? What day is today? Yeah. March 14th. So even in your personal lives, that's when you got the clarity. Right? You get answers. There's less fog. But again, we have a double retrograde right now with Venus too, and you can't fight it. I have said over and over, you have to use these aspects. They're asking you to go with it, to take some time to reassess. What do I have to change? What do I have to change? you know, to vibrate at the high frequency. What do I not want? What are the shadow work I have to do? What do I have to let go? What are the changes that I want to make? Right? I told you Mars is picking up speed right now, but he's still in Cancer. So that's a lot of like people are feeling restless. Like that can bring a little bit like frustration and impatience. And again, it's mostly because things are not happening at the pace that you want it to. But just think, it's yes, it's been since September, but we're officially coming out of that. Next week, when I drop your forecast next week, you'll see Mars is moving into a fire sign. What? And a good one. They're all good, but you're gonna love it. And so take this time to reassess, reevaluate all of that, because you're going to know what you want. You're going to know what you want. And again, I know that Mars is at the tail end of being in Cancer right now, and it still can be with all the 50,000 other things happening right now. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So be very proud of yourself right now, because it is a lot of energy. It can be overwhelming, but you're there. Okay. You're there. This is your portal to make the changes you want. And yes, you saw your current forecast, the full moon in Libra. That's on the docket. That's coming. That's big. That's going to be, I told you. You got to prepare. It's a full moon. Release. What do you got to release? Right? But it's not even just the full moon. That's the thing. When you look at this full moon in Libra that's happening on what is it, April 12th? I talked a lot about it because there's a lot to tell. It's a lot of things that are happening around that full moon. Yeah. A lot of things happening around that full moon that makes it, extra, right? The fact that you've got Juno asteroid, I talked about this, and again, more. I always talk about asteroids in a second. The spread, but Juno at 0 degrees, trining Neptune. Come on, the spiritual warrior with Juno, who is all about truth and justice and bringing things to light during a full moon, which illuminates. That's big. Okay, so you got to start seeing, what do I have to let go, or what is just like changes, or how do I adjust to this, right? And again, don't forget my channeled messages too, right? The predictions I make. We're not done. This is just the beginning. You want to change. Everybody want to change, and it's here now. And I said with Pluto in Aquarius, who is just, you're going to see Pluto very active at the end of this month. Sometimes with Pluto, you got to have those breakdowns to have that breakthrough. There are some things, some system structures that have to right? So it's a 19-year process, right? Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto just moved into Aquarius in November. Things are just getting started. All right. So focus on Jove. Focus on Jove. Jupiter bringing you all that wonderful energy today with the sun. Focus on that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it is like a time where you remember there's so many other things happening behind the scenes, and so many other aspects, like plant seeds. I know it's not like a new moon, but I said every time, like, because we're made of energy, we're already vibrate. Everything vibrates, right? So we're already manifesting. You're already doing that, but it's that intention. It's that energy. Where do I put that energy? So you can plant seeds every day. You can have as many things as you want, but you just have this really wonderful portal today with the sun sextile Jupiter. Yeah. Okay. Are we clear? Are we clear? I just want to make sure that everyone's okay, because yes, strong energies right now, really strong energies. That's the other thing. Are you fearing, things right now in the world? Yeah, well, the world's changing, and it will be, and that's the reset that we need, right? And I told y'all saw my Neptune and Aries video. I told you what I told you. Okay. And so What matters is you and your karmic journey and how you contribute to the collective, to the people that you love, right? To your family, your squad, whatever it is, but you have to be strong for them and for yourself. Well, there's going to be a lot of changes. I told you. I told you. Are y'all watching my day? Are y'all watching my live streams? I told you there's more to come. There's more to come. It's not just like that. It's like Earth is changing. And actually, in my next live stream, I'll talk about it because remember, we're at that juncture of we're at the end and the beginning of about 10 major cycles. That's a lot. It's another reason why what's happening from the end of March until about June, July, August, nobody's ever experienced. Okay. And in modern human history, that's just if you want to go deep, you want to throw in the precession of the equinox, you want to throw in the Kali Yuga. There's so many different cycles that's happening right now. We're at the end of one major cycle, entering another one. And a lot of it has to do with geophysics. A lot of it has to do with Earth. A lot of it has to do with like Earth is changing. And there's got to be a lot more things Earth-wise, I've already said in my live streams, there's going to be a lot of things with people. Mars, when Mars goes into Leo, here's the thing. I want to make it very clear too, I always forget. Two things. One, there are infinite timelines. Okay. And as someone who channels, as a clairvoyant, I've seen them. I've given you examples of things that have changed, and it's all about humanity. It's our energy that can put us on certain paths. And there are so many timelines that were just not great that we dodged. So it's up to us. It's harder to get on those great timelines when everyone's in this place of low frequency energy. Turn off the news. Don't doom scroll. Don't do, if that's making you like, take a break, take a beat. Yeah. Okay. And I forgot the second thing I was going to say. But anyway, that's, I just wanted to make that very clear that you're good. You're good. You've got amazing stuff ahead for you. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. Mundane astrology, world astrology, very different from your astrology, from your personal horoscope, right? Because you're not a country, you're not a city, it's just different. It's just very different. So it's this time where you can thrive, and it's a time where, again, everyone's starting something new. You're moving into this new, brand new era in your life. Move into it, embracing it and loving it and excited for it, right? It's going to be a lot more exciting that way. And I also should clarify that when I do channeled messages, remember, I've talked like, it has nothing to do with astrology. I'm not looking at astrology, but it aligns with the astrology. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's not, but it still happens, right? So clairvoyant, psychic, all that, like, that kind of stuff. It's very different. And so I'm coming at you from very different angles too. Someone who knows about, solar flares, someone who knows about geophysics, someone who knows about, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm bringing in a lot of different things. And so I just want to make it very clear. You're good. Everyone's good. You're great. There are some things there are big things that are going to happen. Okay. I told y'all can go back. Y'all can go back to my past life. I told you even back in August, I said, oh, y'all, heads up. financial system, economy, all of that. I told you back in August. You can go back to my live streams. I'm gonna just I give you these predictions to help you, to help prepare you. I told you all that. All right. So and that's the thing. Again, what you know now, if it's making you really scared, how do you know that's not gonna change? How do you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like, you're already creating this future. I was like, why would you do that to yourself? That's very like Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're good. You're fine. You're good. You're good. Y'all are, listen, you are this and I told this, and I said this, in my last live stream, that people don't have souls. Okay. Souls have bodies. All right. So we are spiritual beings. You want to make your soul happy. Make your soul happy. All right. All right. Any big questions? I got here. I can answer a couple questions. And I oh my gosh, thank you so much. Angmo 2.0. Oh, I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh. And Dawn Peacock, I appreciate it. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for those stickers. Oh, and you're a new member. You missed the last live stream. You're Aquarius just like me. Scorpio, Sagittarius rising. It's so funny. I was just telling a friend who is also Sagittarius rising. And if anyone is like has Sagittarius in their chart, well, yeah, you're just wait until just wait until that. Just wait until you're reading. I mean, you're good. You're gonna be fine. You're good. But Sagittarius risings are really going through this time where you have this huge window right now for the next 2 months to like meet your soulmate. There's so many great things happening for Sagittarius rising. Yeah. And again, if you're sitting there saying, no, there's not, then make it. Take life by the horns. Create your reality. That's the other thing when I say everything is made of energy. Literally energy. Your thoughts, the words that come out of your mouth, right? Someone says something mean to you, that's low energy. You feel that low energy, right? You don't want to do it to anyone else. That's what I'm saying. It's like the thoughts that you have, even the words that you, the things that you write when people write, like, and it happens often. And listen, here's the thing. Sometimes we do have these moments where things can be like overwhelming, and sometimes we need to just release. So, but again, like, if you continue to do that, if you continue to say like, nothing's happening for me, remember, you're creating a reality. You're putting that energy out there in the universe saying, oh, okay, that's a reality that you're going to stick to. There's really nothing I can do. You're too deep in that low energy. Like, but once you come out, I'm going to build this, rainbow road of pot of gold, all of that. Y'all, energy. Don, can't thank you enough as a Cancer who's starting a business. Congratulations. That's amazing. See, I love this. You have helped me stay on track and keep the faith. I don't understand the sex cells and stuff, but you made it easy for me to be able to do what I need to do. I love that. See, I love that. Congratulations, Don. And I love those success stories. And I love that you're doing this. That's amazing. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. Kui. I love your last name. I love your last name. Thank you so much for the 50. Oh my gosh. You're amazing. Now, oh my gosh. Y'all are amazing. My soul is happy being here. My soul is happy that your soul is here. We're a team. We're doing that. We're in this together. I really appreciate that. It really does mean so much to me. It does. Like big, you have no idea. Atlas, thank you so much. Ogan Phoenix, I love that. Thank you so much for the super sticker, y'all. And I do read your comments, and that's the thing is like y'all already know that I work a lot, so I can't like respond. And I take as many as I can to like answer in the live streams. It's so much easier for me to do that. Because I'll take like screenshots, but I just never, get to them because it like I always run out of time. Well, not never, but I get to most of them. Thank a shout out to the guy who called me Nostradamus. I love that. He was like, "How did you know that all this was happening in my life?" Maybe I'm gonna go with that. I don't know. That was funny. Okay, so does anybody have any questions or anything that's been like hard for you or anything that I can help with in the next like 5 minutes before I want to hear what's going on with y'all and maybe your thoughts on what's happening and do you know what I mean? Like let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Remember, have some release, but also remember frequency. So as an example, if you're saying like things have been really hard and I feel stuck and I don't know what to do, that's low energy frequency. But if you tweak the words and said, things have been overwhelming, and for right now, I do feel a little lost, but you know what? I'm gonna live my best life and I'm gonna take charge and I'm gonna make this happen because I know I can. And I've always known I can. So I'm just going to look through a little moment of like, but once I'm out of that, which is gonna be in like 10 minutes, you're gonna see me on that unicorn going toward my, legacy. Do you see the difference? Yeah. All right. All right. So who else is Bucci, it's great to see you. How does a brain physical I gotta get up really close. My like I've been like at the computer all day. That's the other thing. It's a Sunday. I've been working all day. What is I don't get it. The hippocampus. Yeah. Oh, you're going deep. You were going deep. Okay. So yeah, that's a whole other conversation. That's deep. We'll get there. Maybe in the next live stream. But yeah. That's deep. But yeah. I talk about like hemisync all the time. Maybe I need to start. Maybe I'll start talking it more and like incorporate into your forecast. But your brain, your left brain, your right brain, two very different. Okay, so if the best thing is like binaural beats when you put one. And you can like on YouTube, you can find like just in a search binaural beats. You put on headphones, and then you got music coming through this ear, like healing frequency, like 432 hertz, and so. But then in this ear, different one, so it kind of activates your third eye, because it meets right here, and it's so good for you, and it's so good for you, and it helps your intuition. It like helps your pineal gland. So I do it all the time, and I would highly suggest it. I highly suggest it and recommend it. But that's the other thing, we're learning a lot about consciousness. We're learning, and I talked about this in my last live stream. Like consciousness is gonna be a big thing. So just so I make it clear one more time, there's gonna be again a lot of things that you never thought you could ever see in your lifetime, you're gonna see. All right, playing out in the next few months, especially this month. Okay, remember I told you April's a bonkers month, but again, that's the world. You are on your karmic journey where these planets are and aspects are doing something for you that you can use. All right, because you live in this world. So it really is it's a time. Yeah, it's a time. It actually truly started, I would even say back in, well, I mean, we can go back to like the Mayan calendar when it was like the start of a new, you know what I mean? But even when we had the Jupiter Pluto aspects, the Jupiter Saturn conjunction, that's the other thing. That's another thing that started in 2020. Yeah, that's another 20, that's a 20-year cycle that we're going through right now. And so remember, we have the Jupiter Saturn squares. We went through those. Yeah, we have one more that's going to be I want to say June. And it's the last one. But you got to look at your birth chart too. You got to look at your natal chart, because even though that's just like for, for everyone's going to feel that in different areas of their life when we get to that third Jupiter Saturn square and even Mars opposite Pluto. Yeah, remember that's one of the hardest aspects. Yep. It may be in your chart, in your birth chart. For instance, I am going through Jupiter square Saturn natally in my chart for about a year and Mars opposite Pluto. Like it's gonna be wild. So, but do you see me like sitting here like no, I get excited. I use these aspects. I use them. All right. So who else? Who's Jen, you said, I want to take charge and I know what will make me happy, but affects so many other people's lives. Well, that's why you got to trust your intuition and let that full moon illuminate. Remember, Juno's coming in hard. The divine feminine is coming in hard to bring that balance in your life, that truth, that justice, all about commitments, and loyalty, things like that. Juno, come on, she's Hera in Greek. She's Jupiter's wife, actually. Right? Saturn's mom. Anyway. So y'all, that's okay. So okay. What else? Anybody got like any big questions? And again, like there's so many comments, but if you did write a question, you can write it again because it's easier for me, just because if I scroll all the way back, it's gonna be okay. Angie, you said, do you think we should take money out of investments? No. Or stay the course and hope for the best? Also, which do you prioritize, sun, rising, moon? You're a Virgo sun, Capricorn rising, Sagittarius moon. Well, here's the thing. Again, trust your intuition. Do not make any decisions based out of fear, right? Or like, So it's all about, there's got to be, okay, so there is going to be a big change to the financial system. You already see that. I called this out back in August. I brought it up again last fall, and then I brought it up again a few months ago. Okay, and I brought it up again this last month to prepare y'all. Y'all got to watch my predictions live streams. But there's going to be a really, really big shift. And that's all I can tell you. But again, as long as you trust your intuition and it's not fear-based, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Okay? Trust your intuition. Just know there's just going to be changes. There's going to be changes, but then there's going to be a lot of changes you didn't expect. And then also, like, again, when Mercury goes direct, when Venus, which rules money, goes direct, when we have the T-square, the new moon in Taurus, that's coming up at the end of the month. Taurus is a finance sign, right? The bull market. Anyway, just know, like, there's going to be changes. I said there's going to be, you got to ride this wave. Throughout that wave, what is your karmic journey? Don't veer off your path and trust your intuition. Okay? Yeah. I hope that helps. Yeah. Oh, Catherine Thorpe, thank you so much. Are you in Australia? Where? Oh my gosh. I wonder what time it is up there. Oh my gosh. Bucci, you said each week you say something to this effect, and his healing true, and his healing. I'm not sure if it's me, but my gut feels it. No, good. Your gut is your second brain. That's why we say trust your gut. Everything's connected. Everything in your body's connected, right? That's why you don't want to hold in emotions. When you hold in emotions, it manifests physically. And I talk about that. And so you always want to trust your gut. Not trusting your gut would be a disservice to yourself. You have to touch your everything's connected. Everything's connected. Put your feet on, step on rocks. Okay. You're going to feel that nerves go up to your head. It releases those endorphins, the bottom of your feet. I can go into all of this if you want me to. We got all these, anyway. Yeah. I don't even know what was well, trust your gut. But as long as if your gut feels it, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Never not trust your gut. Okay. Good. And yeah, and you will, and again, there is this, South Node activation that's going to be coming up in a few days with the moon, like I said. And so, Virgo just rules the digestive system anyway. But it is a good time to just really trust, like, what does have to go with the South Node. Remember, South Node is like, I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson with this. And that's the other thing. There's going to be a lot of surprises. A lot of people are going to go through a lot of, experiences where it's like, suddenly lose your job or get broken up with, but that's the universe saying, oh, you learned your lesson there. You don't need to be there anymore. We're moving you on to this bigger thing. We got something better for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's, like I said, the universe is always on your side. It's always on your side. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh, Ang, thank you so much. Okay, so I listen. I'm still getting used to this platform that I'm using. You've been releasing whatever does not serve you. All of it good, high frequency vibe and synchronicities. Everywhere seeking guidance on true calling to serve others. Yes, 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 sis. Yes. Y'all see that clip from Survivor with Joe and Eva? Come on, that's how we want to. That's love. That's selfless. Do you know what I mean? Like, y'all know I'm a Survivor super fan, right? It's been going around. Y'all got to see it. Just Google Joe and Eva Survivor. It's gonna make you cry. It's the first time Jeff Probst in all his 47 seasons of being the host of Survivor, like, cried about there was something that happened that was just so moving. It's so emotionally moving. Okay. And that is Virgo energy anyway, right? Service to others, thinking about your role, and anyway, I talk about this in your reading. Okay, so everyone's asking about the TMUS. Should we pull money out of the banks like our savings? No. No. Well, again, trust your intuition, but look at patterns, too. Like, it just doesn't make that's like, that panic, like, but trust your intuition. If you want to take out a certain amount, that if you feel like, okay, my intuition is telling me that I should probably take out 9 months of you know what I mean? Like, it's up to you. I can't tell you what to do, what not to do. I can tell you to trust your intuition, and then you can make, karmically sound decisions when you're trusting your intuition. Yeah. So it's really up to you. But I was already like, no, like, but it's up to you. Okay, so wow. I'm going to just skip over people asking about their charts, because unless I can pull something from it where everyone can benefit from that information. Manuela Noble. Oh yeah, I love your. So you said politics on the entire planet is challenging these days. Any tips on how to deal with it aside from sticking one's head in the sand? Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is like, I've talked about this in my live streams. I invite you to watch the live streams. That's where I talk a little bit more about what's happening globally and in the world, and I touch upon those things. But yes, that is something that is changing, and you see it changing all over the world, right? You see changes that started at the end of last year. You saw changes start with a lot of different leaders that were, booted, a lot of different leaders that stepped down. Hello, Canada. You know what I mean? Like, all over the world. There's even in countries that you're not even reading about in, like, mainstream media, things like that. Like, that's how big the changes are happening, and fast. But then again, when we get to April, you're going to see a lot. Well, we are in April, but you're just going to see a lot more changes. So it's adjusting with it. But again, don't lose you, right? Don't lose you. And don't, again, if you need to just turn off the news, turn off the news. Turn off the news, go to the beach, eat a corn dog. You know what I mean? Like, just have a moment for yourself, right? Have a moment to do some breath work, to breathe, and then it clears your head, right? And I'm not telling you to avoid it, but get to a point where you're okay, where it's just like where you don't feel like you need to, stick your head in the sand, right? Because once again, there's a big change, shift that is breakdown that's happening, and it's not a one day thing. You know the phrase where what is the phrase, like, there's nothing that, years can go by where nothing happens, but then there are days where years happen in that day. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what we're going to be experiencing in April. And so again, it's just getting to a point where nothing like makes you like, oh yeah, where you can read something, you're like, okay, that happened, well, let's see what happens 2 weeks from now, because things change all the time, right? That's my thing for you. Okay. Does anybody have any other y'all? I just finished your readings too for next week. Oh my goodness. Just wait. That's the other thing. Like, once you're gonna feel so much relief when Mercury goes direct. That's a thing. Double retrograde with Venus. You're gonna feel so much relief when Mars leaves Cancer. That's been since September. It's been a thing. It's been building and building and building and building and building. So big vibe shift, big shift that we're, so yeah. And there's like I said, the Neptune conjunctions. Okay. Camilla, you asked, what can we expect to be seeing over the next few months? That's a good question. A lot of change. A lot of change. But in your life, you create your reality, and you can make those changes for you. And it's adapting to a lot of changes that are happening. Again, there's going to be a lot of big things that happen in April. A lot. Okay. But again, if it don't, don't let that slow you down on your path, on your karmic journey. You're only here once. Make the most of it. Okay. Do you do the best you can, vibrate at the high frequency. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes, adjustments. Astrologically, May's a lot more quiet than April. Like I said, April is a bonkers month. So I want everyone to remember that I said that, like, again, from last year. April's bonkers. But then once we get to May, things, we leave. And I even told you in your monthly forecast, things get a little bit, we have those hard aspects of the end of April. May is a lot quieter. Okay. And then June is, the lucky big change there where, May, remember, Saturn moves into Aries, right? So now you're going to have Neptune with Saturn in Aries. You haven't felt that. Well, I mean, they move together. They do, but like not at this degree. And it's a different, anyway, and in Aries. But what else? Jupiter moving into Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, where Jupiter does its best. That's happening in June. You have that to look forward to. We have a new moon in Cancer conjuncting Jupiter. What? So August, remember I told you, one of the best months of. So yeah, you have a lot to look forward to. All right. It's just April. It's a little bit overwhelming. All right. Just work with those energies, but always just, believe in yourself and trust yourself, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. You're going to be great. I'm going to be here for you. Okay. I'll be here for you. I've been doing that's how also, remember if you've been a subscriber you saw my videos from last year. I said, like, when we get to 2025, I don't even know what to do. There's never been a year like 2025. Humanity has never gone through a year like 2025. And that's no exaggeration. It's literal. When you think of the aspects and what's happening with the astrology of it all and all these cycles that we're going through, that is the end of a cycle, beginning of a new one. Yeah. This is big. And so there were moments last year, I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to do their readings. There's just so much, like, and I'm a Virgo moon. Y'all know that. I'm also a Gemini rising. You know that. I'm also an Aquarius. You know that. So it's all like up here. It's here. It's here. It's Virgo moon is that if anyone's a Virgo moon or even a Virgo, that perfectionist energy, right? Everything gotta be perfect. So there's no one like, a lot of, when I do your weekly forecast, I got to tell you all the aspects, even the asteroids. And that's another thing. You're going to see a lot more astrologers just talking about the asteroids. That's going to be they're just so, they have such impact. Yeah, they have such impact. But no, it's just like there's so much happening this year. It's just like I don't know how to do that. I like these are going to be hour-long like I just, you know what I mean? So, but after next week, I need a break. So I'm gonna I gotta get back down to like, I don't know, but we'll see if that happens. Does anybody not like the long readings? Let me know. I feel like sometimes they're a little, but it's also like there's so many of y'all that want to be like, asking me to like teach and things like that, but I feel like they serve as that, like educational as well. Like I try to like make sure that like exactly what's happening and you can take away. There's a lot that you can take away from it. I know a lot of y'all take notes and stuff like I love that. But y'all, okay, so any other questions? Let me just see. Okay. M. Lopez, good to see you. Everyone breathe. Yes. Garden Suns, I've been seeing a lot of orbs and strange objects in the sky, waking up just before 3 a.m. almost every night. Even if I only got 2 hours of sleep or no sleep, I can feel the shift happening. Yes. Yes. Remember I said, you're going to start, everyone's going to see things that they haven't never seen in their lifetime. I mean, that's just a great example. When was the last time we saw a whole bunch of orbs all over the world, right? Coming out of the ocean, coming out of the sea. And I'll talk about this in my next, in my live stream next week, but even things that I predicted back in August, September, I said there's going to be a lot of things coming from the water. I said pay attention to the water, things are coming out of the water. I also said there's going to be new species found. I don't know if you remember that live stream. They found a whole, like an entire ecosystem of all these never before seen species in Antarctica. There, but again, we'll talk about more next week. But yeah, that's your consciousness expanding. But yeah, so you're going to start seeing more of, I want to say the real thing. Like you're going to see more of the real thing. All right, Garden Suns, like in the sky. Everyone is. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be very, very, very beautiful. All right. So, y'all, I got to go. I got to eat. I got to clean. I'm in my hoodie. I don't even know what I'm like. What? Anything else that, let me just scroll in. Okay. But I hope that was really helpful. Okay. You're good. Feel it. Feel that joy. You got to feel it deep down your bones. And that's the other thing, manifesting. Remember, and I've done so many live streams on manifesting. There are certain ways to do it that are just like you want to just you watch those videos, okay? Because you will see the difference, like night and day. Like you will see things happen like within an hour of like after, you know what I mean, when you set intentions. But just like, just watch those videos, but truly just, when we talked about souls earlier, feel it deep down in your soul when you are manifesting. Yeah, but again, never out of a place of fear, never out of a place of you know what I mean, like low energy frequency. It's all about the blessings. It's all about the blessings. Okay, y'all. Okay, so okay, y'all like the long readings. Okay. They're gonna get. I do need a little break. So we're gonna be a little bit shorter. Well, and also to be honest, in May, like I said, it's a lot quieter. So but that's because but anyway, y'all are good. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, like thank you so much, Monica. Thank Raquel, thank you so much. Verena, oh my gosh, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Y'all. Oh, and Aang, that wasn't you're amazing. You're amazing. Y'all are amazing. I don't even know. Like it really does mean a lot. It means a lot. And y'all, again, please trust me. Okay, you're good. Okay, you're good. Just work on your journey. What do you want, right? But remember, a lot of it right now is about letting things go to bring in this new. We're leaving the old world, we're moving into this new world, right? This brand new era. And you, every single one of you, are moving into these new eras in your life and your personal life. So get excited about that. Okay, get excited. And I want you to feel that excitement. And again, you're gonna feel the biggest shift once like Mercury going direct, Venus going direct, Mars leaving Cancer. It's a whole thing. But just remember, Saturn is coming in hard. Life lessons, right? What are the lessons that you have to learn? Okay, pass his test, ace his test, be the guy at the end of Truman Show. You passed his test. It was hard, but you made it. How good does that feel? Right? How good does that feel? You won. You won. Yeah. All right. And so it's all about your commitments moving forward. But anyway, y'all, okay, this went a lot longer than okay, so y'all are amazing. If I said anything weird, that was Mercury retrograde. But okay, and I'm glad that this didn't like crash or anything like that. That's the whole thing. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all are amazing. Y'all inspire me. I'm you know I got you. Okay, I'm here for you. I will drop your readings next week. Whoa, just again, you just wait and see when Mars moves into Leo. Oh, wow. But again, very different from, remember, world astrology is very different from personal astrology. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Really absorb this, Sun, Jupiter sextile. And yeah, again, look at that Instagram post I did on what happened to Jupiter last night around midnight. Oh my goodness. What are the chances it happened this weekend, the luckiest weekend of April? What are the chances to the actual planet? And it's just the tarot ship or whatever, but I want to surprise you. That's what I'm going to tell you. But anyway, y'all are amazing. Y'all are perfect. Y'all are amazing. Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you very soon. All right. I appreciate you. I love y'all. I'll see you very soon. All right. Thank you. Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.